I've been explaining human trafficking for many years, and it can become a rote conversation. Human trafficking is modern-day slavery. And if you think about the definition of what a slave is, it will change your life forever, knowing that children are being forced to have sex over and over and over again against their will, without a say. There should not be slavery happening today in America.
Traffic 911 exists to free youth from sex trafficking, and we approach the issue right here in the state of Texas. Local kids that are being caught up and lured into an activity and are being sold for sex right out of their homes, their community. So on average, it's about every 3 days, our team is getting a call for a child right here in Dallas County and Tarrant County that's being recovered from sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking is occurring in Dallas, Rockwall, Mesquite, Garland, Plano, even in Highland Park. It's not just a problem in a part of town where you may not want to frequent after dark. It's happening all over the city in all different neighborhoods. The average age a child is recruited into this industry is 12 or 13 years old. The reason they're vulnerable is simply because they are a child, and children tend to trust adults. The thing is, perpetrators find the dysfunction and they prey on the child based on that dysfunction.
The people most vulnerable to trafficking is young girls who have aged out of foster care, the homeless, and the broken who don't have the support of their family. If you look around our facility, it's totally focused on the babies. The girls that come here pregnant. That baby can't help what it's born into. And so it's our job as the community to help not just shift the journey of that mother, but shift the journey of that baby, of where that baby would end up if we didn't step in as a community.
There are so many stories in the Bible that demonstrate God's heart for those who have been trafficked or those who are vulnerable. And often it's those stories that we avoid. We don't want to look at the hard truth of what has happened to people who have been very much in God's view and how what's happened to them has broken God's heart. Take the story of Tamar. I believe that we've got to lean into those stories and not be afraid, because those can be entry points to better understanding what's happening still in our communities.
Many people ask how you can recognize a victim of sex trafficking, and I encourage people to come and attend one of our monthly outreaches. On outreach, we go to hotels, truck stops, convenience stores, and we distribute posters of missing children. We also point out things that are happening in the community, and I've had many people say after attending an outreach their eyes are forever open and they can't unlearn what they've learned.
The signs of somebody being trafficked can be very hard to see, but if a child is truant and not at school, if they look malnourished, if there is an older adult that seems to have control over them, a boyfriend or girlfriend, those can be issues that are very troubling. Branding of tattoos that have the marks of a trafficker's name or daddy's girl, or a barcode like you would see on the bottle of milk. These are signs that this child is in a tough situation.
I think understand that sex trafficking does happen here, and it happens locally, and if you see the signs and you have that instinct that this is not right, listen to it. So I'd rather someone making a report on a false accusation or not really know for sure than to go home and allow this to happen.
One of the biggest issues is awareness that this issue is going on right here in our community. So when churches focus on this and bring eyes to it from their congregation and mobilize them to go volunteer with organizations like Traffic 911, it's goodness for all these young people in our community. So we offer ways for them to volunteer as part of our prevention programs, going into schools, using our program to educate young people. We have teams that go into juvenile detention centers, 18 centers across the state of Texas, all volunteers. that sat in a pew, learned about this issue, and said, I want to be a difference maker.
If churches want to do more to be involved with standing against human trafficking, one of the best things they can do is connect with Dallas Baptist Association with the Hear Their Cry initiative. That's a way that you can learn about resources and find opportunities to perhaps serve.
We have several opportunities for volunteers, and so we always need volunteers to assist with baby cuddling. We need volunteers to become mentors to these girls, to just show them a different way of life. That's one of the major things, is they need the positive examples of strong women who can show them that there is a better road.
It's hard being a survivor of trafficking. It's hard every day to fight the battles in your minds, in your heart. It's hard to live every day with that. And so if you know or you suspect that, you have the power to act on that. And what happened to her is not her fault. But most of all, just remind her that she is loved, who she is.